Hi there, everyone. Namaste. I am Jill Loftis of Nuit Astrology. Welcome to your Planetary Energy Forecast for the month of October 2022. Now, this is a big month, all right? There's the beginning of eclipse season, right? Which always brings in some challenges, and I think these eclipses are going to be doozies, all right? So there's that to prepare for. Pluto is going to station direct. Saturn is going to station direct. Mercury stations direct right at the beginning of the month, right? So a lot of big movements of retrograde planets. And then also at the end of the month, we have Mars stationing retrograde in the sign of Gemini. So those are all really big happenings. And then we have, I know you know it if you listen to me at all, we've got that square between the Saturn in Aquarius over to Uranus and Taurus, all right? That was a big theme of 2021. You had 3 exact hits. This time they're at 18 degrees. They come close into orbs, so know where those areas of your life are and see if you can figure out where you need to turn the corner. That's what squares do, right? You think you're going one direction and all of a sudden it's no go. And so you have to come up with a new innovative plan, right? Because Saturn is in Aquarius. It needs to be innovative. It needs to be next level. It needs to be cutting edge. It needs to be harmonious and sustainable for the long term, right? So don't hate on Saturn, right? We need it. But with Uranus in the mix, there could be shocking, sudden events related to all things Tauran, whether it's food, resources, the earth, money, investments, currency, values, etc. So let's hop in. So on the first of the month, October the 1st, that Mercury is going to be retrograding, getting ready to go direct, right? But it's going to be across the sky because it's in Virgo, across the sky from the Neptune, all right? And we've been in this for the end of September, a little murky mental activity, a little difficulty to see the way forward, right? And so just really watch, it does make it much harder to see the direction or where to move forward or how to move forward for sure. Venus in Libra also is going to be across the sky from Jupiter in Aries. And so there could be some real fiery energy around, I really want this in particular, I want it this way, and why can't I have it that way, right? So it's not a time to take big risks, to go too big or too hard on anything, especially also because there's some difficult Sagittarius aspects on that first of the month. And Sagittarius has a tendency to think of the centaur, right? Hoof in mouth disease, right? So watch and moderate your mental energy. On the 2nd of October, Mercury does station direct, right? So observe that, see what kind of final lessons need to be sorted out in the late degrees of Virgo. It stations at 24 degrees. It's also another difficult moon day, though. The moon moves into Capricorn. It's going to square Jupiter, Venus, and the sun. So some heavy emotions on this day. All right? Now, we have October 3rd, we have the moon still in Capricorn, right? So it's going to come and meet up with Pluto. So very strong emotions, time to really kind of break down some emotional barriers in some ways. Has some other positive aspects. So I think that's going to help bail that out a little bit. Another day to watch out for is October 5th. The moon is in Aquarius. So of course, if you're an Aquarian or a Leo, pay attention to that. But it's going to come together with Saturn, and that's going to really juice that square, right, between the Uranus and the Saturn. So lots of emotionality, but in an Aquarian way, right, which is not the typical emotions, right? It's almost a harsh, detached type of energy. So maybe if you are an Aquarian, be a little more effusive, a little more soft, a little more gentle. If you're not, understand that this energy might really make you think, I'm just going to cut my losses and walk away from something. So of course, do it harmoniously. Now, on the 6th, Mercury in Virgo is going to trine over to Pluto and Capricorn. This is nice, okay? This is good energy. This is, I'm like catching those vibes of like, wow, how can I make this change wisely? How can I transform wisely? How can I revolutionize, deeply change, right? The Capricorn area of chart. Sun in Libra is going to be right across the sky from Chiron in Aries, though. And so this, watch for headaches. Watch for arguments, watch for, hurt feelings, especially in your relationships or partnerships. You might be trying to balance out other people's needs in some way. And if you're a Libra, of course, you have to pay a little bit more attention to that, or Libra rising. Now, on the 7th, we begin to start to soak in these vibes of Neptune in Pisces squaring the Gemini Mars. All right, so think about Gemini energy squaring over to the Neptune in Pisces. This could be really talking about things but not gaining any traction. This could be a real draw to disappear into media, to disappear into your phone or your computer. So don't. It's going to be in play for a while, really for the rest of the month. All right. So if you kind of feel that creeping fog enter in, right, of your like dry, you're like trying to get something done, right? There could be some real stressors. This could also wonk out things related to technology as well. So watch that between that and the square between the Uranus and Saturn. You know, Mercury might be direct and everybody's like, oh yeah, Mercury's direct, that's so exciting, and everything goes to shit. Okay, so have your backup systems. You know, don't just put your guard down because Mercury goes direct. There might be challenges with electricity, there might be challenges with the grid, there might be challenges. So keep that in mind. All right, on October 8th, Pluto direct. Boom. So you'll be journaling that day. Pay attention to it. This is the last time it's going to station before it peaks into Aquarius next year, right? So this is the last station. Really observe the events of the day symbolically. And I got to do a video on this because I think a lot of times people take things so literally, but you have to look at symbolically what occurs on that day in your life and in the world at large to see how the rest of this Pluto in Capricorn, how these lessons are going to wrap up. So pay attention on the 8th. Now on the 9th, we have a full moon in Aries. It's at 16 degrees of Aries at 4:55 p.m. And it is right across from Venus in Libra. It sextiles over to the Saturn in Aquarius, but really strong emotions, really strong drive for independence. Look for the Aries area. Can I say that? Aries area of your chart. Look at that midpoint, right? 16 degrees right in the middle. Where is that for you? And how is that, how are you having maybe a clash of values or a clash of how you want to, where you might need to wrap up or complete or let go of something that you used to value. This could be really put some stress on some relationships as well. And so be cautious. You know, if it's time to end a relationship, this might be a lovely moon to do it. You know, to break free, to become more independent, right? To do it on your own. But if you are not wanting to have some stressors in your relationship, then be sweet, okay? All right, on October the 10th. Now remember, Mercury station direct. Now it's back into Libra, moves back into Libra. So we have back again into Libra. Now the moon is void in Aries from about 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the East Coast. You know, I think I did tell you, yeah. The full moon's at 4:55 East Coast time. All right, Mercury back into Libra. Moon void, but it also conjuncts Eris, the goddess of discord. So there might be some real amplifications of emotions and intuition. Venus in Libra is opposing the Chiron in Aries now. All right, my phone just totally popped off of the stand, so I'm just gonna pick up where I was and hopefully I can edit that out. I need to have a blooper reel. They would be hilarious. All right, so yeah, Mercury, or that moon in Aries with Eris, the goddess of discord. There could be some potential arguments, some potential issues with this Venus in Libra opposing the Chiron and then also having the moon in Aries. And then the moon is gonna hit Chiron as well. So a little bit of an erratic energy, the potential for arguments on the 10th. Now, October 11th, you can fix that stuff because the sun in Libra is going to trine over to Saturn in Aquarius. And so I see this as like the sun parting, right? The cloud coming out from the clouds and you realizing, oh, that's why that had to go down like that, or that's why I was feeling that way. So good for restoring balance for sure. Now on October 12th, we've got the exact square, Mars in Gemini squared over to the Neptune. So watch your mind, could be really, you know, wanting to just go in the wrong direction. Mercury in Libra is going to oppose Jupiter in Aries yet again. This is the third time, okay? So if you dealt with it the last couple times, you probably won't notice it. But if you didn't, you might have a really big dust up, a really big blow up, a really big idea even come into your mind, right? So this is a moderate your mouth and your mind day. Taurus moon is going to hit Uranus, which, you know, always is a little bit for the nervous system, right? It's going to square the Saturn, sextile the Neptune in Pisces, and trine over to Pluto. That's big outer planet energy, really. I mean, anytime anything goes through Taurus right now, it's just getting pummeled. So you Taurans, fellow Taurans, my goodness, I feel you, baby. We just want to, like, you know, eat the good food and have fabulous sex and, you know, work in the garden, right? And all this stuff is like really amping us up. So just notice, you know, even positive change takes a lot of energy to absorb. And so give yourself the time and nature, the time to restore, time with people that love you and care for you in order to manage all of this. All right. Now we get up on October 14th, Venus in Libra trine Saturn in Aquarius, okay? Follows up on the Sun trine from the 11th. So it's great for, I see that as like a making commitments in love day. I would see that as an engagement day. It's got a Gemini moon, which is trine the Saturn, the Venus, and the Sun. Squares over to the Neptune, right? So, but I still am liking this energy on the 14th. On the 16th, Mercury gets out of that shadow zone and is in new territory in Libra. So lots of conversations, ideas around balance and harmony and fairness and justice. Don't forget, with Mercury in Libra and, you know, the Sun there as well, right? The idea of justice is really important. Venus is there too, right? So there might be a lot about what is fair and what is right. My teacher always used to say, Librans love the peace enough to fight for it. I like that. And we're all gonna need that soon. All right, now, then we've got, let's see, Sun in Libra trine Mars in Gemini. All right, so wow, this is some really beneficial aspects. This is going to be on the 17th. The Sun is getting some nice energy, so good for you Leos, because you guys have been Saturn across the sky from your sign. It's not been fun for Leos. So lots of mental activity with that Mars in Gemini, right? And then the next day on the 18th, Venus in Libra trines the Mars in Gemini. So a little reprieve in the middle of the month. Now, immediately after, on the 19th, that Libran Sun gets squared by Pluto. And then the Moon in Leo is going to square over to Uranus and oppose the Saturn. I mean, that's rough, okay? That is a lot. So a little more space on the 19th, especially if you're a Libra, Leo, Taurus, or Aquarius. Then, of course, right, we had the Sun trine. It was trined Saturn, right? And then it trined Mars. Now it's going to square Pluto, and then the Venus does the same thing, right? Do you see this kind of pattern we've got going over this little period of time between the 11th, 11th into the 20th, right? So big energy in those areas of life that you really need to moderate, and choose the high vibrational Libran tendencies of finding peace, harmony, justice, beauty. Watch out though for that people-pleasing aspect of Librans, or that Libra energy in you where you're just trying to keep the peace, and so you bend yourself into 15 different directions and say yes to things you don't really want to do. That's the biggest problem with Libra energy. And then you do it because you're being nice and kind, right? And then when they walk all over you, you're like, what just happened? I need to learn to say no. All right. Where did I leave off? Yeah, Venus in Libra square the Pluto in Capricorn. That is October 20th. And now both the Sun and Venus are basically strolling together into the sign of Scorpio. That will happen in a couple days. But watch that. I mean, the Sun together with Venus is going to be very strong at the tail end of Libra. On the 23rd, Saturn goes direct. Again, when those outer planets station, we really look at the symbolic events of the day because they retrograde for such a long period of time. So watch where in Aquarius, what's going on there for you. Venus and the sun move into Scorpio. Scorpio, the Scorpio area of life is about to get really lit up. Where is that for you? Know where that is for you. All right. Now, on the 24th, we've got the moon in Libra trine over to the Saturn Aquarius. Lovely. Conjunct the Mercury, trine the Mars, square the Pluto. Lots of big emotions, right? Lots of, again, it's kind of like you had all those issues with the Libra energy earlier, and then the moon comes along and like adds a little emotional spice to it all to make sure that you made decisions that really fill your heart. All right, now we have eclipse season beginning on October 25th. New moon solar eclipse at 2 degrees in the sign of Scorpio. It's at 6:49 a.m. on the East Coast, and it is conjunct Venus. So, because remember, a new moon is the sun and the moon coming together. And there's Venus, because she and the moon and the sun just strolled right in there hand in hand. This is really big issues related to love, money, values, other people's money, other people's values. Where is Scorpio for you? Traditionally, Scorpio energy rules the 8th house of death, of sex, of the spiritual search, of inheritances, of you commingling your money, your body, your essence with others. Very, very strong energy on that day. So look at where you can set intentions around that area of life. Where do you need to spark a new beginning? And you may have some ideas about that because the South Node is also in Scorpio, and it's still, it's not going to really conjunct this, but as the moon speeds along, it will, right? And so there might be some letting go, some loss or decrease in that area of life for you. So stay adaptable. That's always important. All right, October 26th, Mercury in Libra, trine over to the Mars in Gemini. Again, because of the retrograde, right? But now it's moving forward. So lots of ideas, lots of potential ideas. The Scorpio moon is going to oppose that Uranus and Taurus, though, so don't let that heaviness kind of drag you down. That can sometimes be a little bit much. All right, October 27th, Mercury in Libra square over to Pluto in Capricorn. Moon is also still in Scorpio here, so a lot of heavy thoughts, heavy conversations, difficulties perhaps with authority figures, so pay attention to that. The moon is going to move into Sag, though, and then trine over to the Jupiter, so that'll lighten the load at the end of the day. On October 28th, another important sign change. Jupiter has been moving backwards through the sign of Aries, and on this date, it returns to the sign of Pisces, where it will be for just a short while, just a few months. And it's just wrapping up those Pisces lessons, right? So you may have some themes that return from last year. Well, not last year, earlier this year. I'll need to look at that and put it in the notes. But, it expands the Piscean area of life. And it prefers to be in Pisces. It prefers that to the placement in Aries. And so you Sagittarians, you might get a little bit of a reprieve from that feeling. Now, on October 29th, Mercury moves into Scorpio. So now we have the sun in Scorpio, we've got Venus in Scorpio, and we have Mercury in Scorpio. So a lot more intense mental activity, a lot more wanting to dive into secrets, more of an interest in the occult and occult matters, right? So a great time for studying those types of things. And then on the 30th, Mars in Gemini goes retrograde. Now remember, Mars typically only spends 6 or 7 weeks in a sign, and now it's spending 6, almost 7 months in the sign of Gemini. And when Mars goes retrograde, it's like the warrior, it's like trying to tell a warrior, go back and do it again, right? Not really happy about that. It can introduce a real erratic energy. It can bring violent thoughts, violent rhetoric, problems, right? In the Gemini area of life. So caution flag up on your mind and your mouth as this progresses. Now, on that day, on the 30th, we do have some positive moon connections from the sign of Capricorn over to Uranus and Neptune, which hopefully can give you a little intuition and insight on how to handle that vibe change. And on the 31st, Moon in Capricorn conjuncting Pluto. So on All Hallows Eve, we are going to be emotionally in the depths, right? In the depths with Pluto, which, the energy of death, dying, and regeneration. So a good day, a very emotional day. It could be a potentially emotional day, but a good day to, of course, honor our ancestors, our ancestry. They say the veils are very thin during this Scorpio season in particular. So that is how we end the month. I do hope you will watch the tarot spread that I did. I did that a couple days ago, and really interesting information in that tarot spread. This is going to be a challenging month. I want you to get your head on straight. So get these dates in your calendar so that you can plan appropriately. And I wish you the very, very best. Thank you for your extreme patience. I know this is kind of long and chatty. How unusual, right? Thank you. Please like the video if you found it useful, helpful. Please subscribe to the channel because it helps it to grow. I do have a new moon newsletter that comes out every month if you sign up on my website, so check it out. I have also have memberships available on my website, and I offer a variety of readings, astrological readings, spiritual counseling, and other, other things to try to help. All right, friends, I'll see you in the tarot. Namaste. Bye. Hello, my darlings. Welcome to your Lotus Tarot spread for the month of October. Now, October, November, a little sticky, a little tricky. All right, so we're looking for some guidance to see how to manage these energies in the month of October. All right, so this spread offers two distinct ways to work with the energies. So let us see what the suggestions are. We've got some, eclipse season begins this month. Mercury stations direct, Pluto stations direct. Mars is engaging with Neptune. It's interesting. All right. So I always pick the center stack. I do have a free tarot course on my website. If you are interested, all you have to do is sign up for my newsletter to access that. So the first card is you and the foundation of the question. This is the Queen of Pentacles. So we're concerned about money. We're concerned about resources. We're paying attention to our homes, getting them buttoned up for winter. So Queen of Pentacles is a very earthy queen. All right, very earthy queen. Probably need to move back a little bit here so you can see, my darlings. Okay. All right, and then our second card is you, okay? So if you're watching this video, it's you, and you are focusing on, this is the Five of Cups. This card indicates that you're focusing on what you don't have instead of looking at what you do. So look around, don't look at what you've lost, don't look at the past. Look at what you can do with the resources that you have now, okay? Don't mope. No moping. All right, the present environment, the situation we find ourselves in, and we've got the Death card. Now, the Death card just means endings. It doesn't necessarily mean dramatic endings because, that would be a tower situation. But with the Death card, it means that something just has fulfilled its mission. It's over, it's done, it's time to wrap it up, okay? So this could be why you were, that Five of Cups was there. You're mourning something, you're sad about something, but you got to let it go. Got to let it go. All right, the beginning of the culmination of these influences, Queen of Pentacles, Five of Cups, and Death. The Magician, the universe reassures us, hey man, you got it. So as you see, he holds all of the different suits, right? He's got the wands, the cups, the swords, and the pentacles. So he understands what to do. So remember your magical powers, your free will, your ability to self-direct and live your life on your own terms. We think we don't have the power, but we do. We do have the power in many, many ways. So it's not what happens, it's how we react to what happens. Okay, very key. All right, now this is the key card. The key card of the future, Two of Cups. So there's something coming together for you. There's something coming together for me. Like like a way forward is coming in. Now, this could be a person comes into your life. It could be a new job, a new opportunity. But it's perfect. It's really good. So look for that emotional fulfillment piece. All right, and then we'll look at the two forces in play with this. So first we've got the Two of Pentacles. So wow, this perfect opportunity comes up and we've just got to be really balanced in the way we say yes, okay? The other option is the Hanging Man, that it might not come together right away, but you're in the right position. You abstain for a little while, you hang on, you get some other things sorted. It's a willful delay or denial for a little while, knowing that it's going to culminate better if you give it some time. This could also be needing some time away from the situation, time to transition into this thing that's perfect for you. So just keep in mind, they're both really kind of cards of balance when you think about it. All right, now the near future key card. Ooh, Eight of Cups. All right, I call this the Tupac Shakur card because there is a brilliant quote from the late, great sage Tupac Shakur that says, you can spend days, weeks, months, years thinking about what could or should have been, or you can leave the pieces on the floor and move the fuck on. So this is the move the fuck on card, all right? So keep that in mind. This is important. There might be something, I mean, there's the Death card, right? There's something that you have to just let go. You have to walk away from it. You can't sit around and think, why? Okay, it is, okay? Deal with what is, not what ifs. What is, not what if. All right, so the modifiers for this Eight of Cups. On the one side, we've got the Page of Wands, so initiating action that really makes you feel fulfilled and happy. On the other side, we've got the independent woman. She is earning her own money, taking care of herself. This doesn't mean she doesn't have wonderful love relationships or partnerships, but she knows she's got to, take care of things, and she's got a way to earn income, either through manifestation or through her mad skills, right? So we're walking away. We're either starting something new or we're already starting to claim that independence. Now, over here with the Page of Wands, we've also got the Seven of Pentacles. And this is a card that indicates, yes, you have enough now, but what about the future? Okay, so this is a very future-oriented card. So initiating something with an eye to the future. On the other side, with the Nine of Pentacles, we have the Three of Pentacles, okay? And this is more of a card of preparation. It's like, look, we're aspiring to have that money, have those resources, be independent, self-reliant, but we've got to get started, all right? So that's really interesting. All right, and now we're going to go with the final row here, the two possible outcomes or progressions. So on this side, we've got Ace of Pentacles, brand new beginnings. This could be financial. This could be a job, a new home. On the other side, Queen of Swords, really being logical, intellectual, smart, savvy, right? She's not listening to her guts. She's making a spreadsheet. Now, it doesn't mean you don't listen to yourself, right? You don't listen to your intuition, but this is more of a employ logic if you're going to go with this side. All right, and on the other side, you're going to be initiating something, but you've got to watch that you're not overworking. This, I always think of this as a very Capricornian card. It's like, I'm just going to keep working until I work myself into the ground. This is working hard and not working smart. So that's where you have to really watch if you're planning to start this new venture, that you don't burn yourself out in the process, right? And then over here, paired with the Queen of Wands, we've got the Ten of Pentacles. Wow. Guaranteed success. Well, there's money, there's time, there's energy coming to you. Abundance is yours. It's very, very positive. All right. So these two different progressions, each of you are going to have something that comes to you that is just right. And there's these two different ways to handle it, right? Either being really balanced, maybe, letting go, making space, starting the new thing. As you start the new thing, you got to think about the future, though. Again, Ace, another starting card, initiation, but don't work yourself to death on it, okay? Work smart, not just hard. The other side, we've got the Hanging Man, so you might have to delay something, not go rushing out, right? There might be some things you need to put into place to manifest this. And then you walk away, right? It's kind of like, you can't just quit your job and you don't have anything else lined up. So maybe you're lining something up, right? You walk away and you're really in pursuit of this independence, of relying on yourself and your ability to create and manifest. And You are working towards your future. This is very positive. Approach it intellectually. Be smart, be savvy, make good decisions. But you're the queen of your kingdom. Be the queen. And even if you're a man, like, right? Use that feminine, decisive intellect. It's a different vibe than masculine, right? It's more yin. And then you've got this incredible abundance that will come to you. So yeah, I'm digging it. I really like this spread. Either one is great. New beginnings for all of us. It's going to be an interesting month.